Oh, hello everybody. It's your friend Cheap Loots. How you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful evening or morning, whatever time it is where you're at. I feel like the US school system really betrayed me. They did not teach us about time zones efficiently enough. Or how to balance a checkbook, which is a thing I'm pretty sure people don't do anymore, so maybe they were right about that. Or how to file taxes, which I feel like that was intentional, specifically. You don't want to teach people to efficiently file taxes. Anyways, let's talk about the market in NBA 2K23, my team. Season 7 is upon us. I mean, some people are excited, some people think it's trash. I mean, I'm somewhere in the middle, I think. More apathetic towards it than anything. Now, the En Fuego packs are not very good. I'll open one real quick just to show you. The odds are not great. Nothing positive has really come from these packs. I swear it glitched, but it's just Joakim Noah, so that's good. Now, that being said, I'm going to talk about Joakim a little bit in a second, but the odds aren't great. I mean, the odds to pull, like, opals are fine. But you also have to remember there's 450 new all-time cards that are muddying everything up. Plus playoff cards, plus the actual cards from the set, which are, there's layers to it, right? Giannis and Magic are not dropping as often as Joe Johnson and Domantas Sabonis. We know that. But let's talk about the cards in the set. Are there any hidden gems? Anyone you should really look at? I mean, yes and no. We'll start with Danny Green. You can get basically all the opals, by the way, for like discard value. At the bare maximum, I would say you're going to pay about 500. Yeah, about 5,500 is what I meant to say. I said 500, I wish. But 5,500 is about the max you're going to pay for some of these guys. Like Danny Green, you can get for about 5,000 MT. He's pretty okay. He's got a huge green window. He's not the greatest card in the world. You're not going to be wowed by Danny Green, but he has excellent defensive tendencies and a very easy to green jump shot. I actually like him. I mean, a lot of that probably comes from the fact that I ran Diamond Danny Green forever. Well, technically Shades of, and then he got the Evo, so I ran him additionally. But I ran that Danny Green for a while at the very beginning of the year, so that's the homie. So the release feels kind of natural to me, I guess, but he has good tendencies. He moves actually surprisingly well. Also, like you wouldn't expect that, but Danny Green's decent. He's okay. Steve Francis is a fun card to use offline, but he's not exactly going to wow you online, especially when people are running like Ben Simmons or even at the lower end of things like Sean Livingston and like Josh Giddey and stuff. A 6 3-point guard is just not going to do it. It's a shame that we went this long in between Steve Francis's, because I feel like if Steve Francis were to have come out maybe in like January or December, it would have been a little bit of a different situation with Steve Francis. Not even necessarily like a high tier Steve Francis, but like an opal, Like when Dark Matters first started to come out, if we got like maybe not this exact opal Steve Francis, but an opal Steve Francis, it would have been cool. He's fun, but that's about it. Paul Millsap is another card that it's like, if he had just come out in like season 5, he would have been gas. But we're in season 7 now, and we have so many small forward, power forwards. I actually really like his release, by the way. Like, I've seen people say this release sucks. I think majority of people who say that are just so used to like the meta releases, or they haven't actually used it, because that happens pretty often also. But I like his release on very quick. It seems super smooth. It's not the fastest thing in the world. It's a lot better than Lamar Odom's release, I can tell you that for sure. Indy's got a big player build. He's actually pretty decent. Gallinari, 6'10", looks about 6'10", good release, he moves well, he actually plays pretty competent defense. I just feel like I don't know, man, it's just like, I don't care. I don't care about Danilo Gallinari. Like, I'm sure he's a fine individual. I actually kind of hate his little faux hawk thing that he had going on there. Not this kind of faux hawk, like where he looks like a member of 98 Degrees. Like the head shaved. I guess that's like an actual mohawk, but he still did it in a way where it looked like a faux hawk. Anyways, it's like besides the point. I didn't like that, so I didn't really like him. He had the same haircut you would see on like a Skatetopia documentary. It's not good. It's not ideal. He's pretty good. He plays good defense. He has horrible defensive tendencies, though, which is to be expected. His release is solid. He moves well. He doesn't have the greatest dribble sigs in the world. Like, T-Mac size up isn't the greatest, but it's okay. John Wall is good for like rim running. Nah, some people 3 hunt with it really well. It's very depending on the person. Then we got Miles Turner. Miles Turner is strictly like a 3 and D power forward. He's pretty solid at that if you're looking for like an extreme budget option. He's very, very good. 6'11", he can definitely hold down the power forward, but realistically, he's not even the best power forward in this set. That honor goes to Joakim Noah. You can get Joakim Noah for 5,000 MT, and I promise Joakim Noah may legitimately be. I'm not gonna go crazy and say like a top 5 power forward, but like he legitimately might be a top 10 power forward. Like he is so good. Like 6'11", he's not the biggest 6'11" dude you've ever seen. He definitely needs shooting badges for sure. But that release is cash, like straight cash. The Christian Wood release, everybody likes it. It's good. John Wall escape, which he can move. He's got Booker's size up, which I actually don't mind at all. Some people hate it. It's not the greatest. But if you're looking for a pure 3 and D power forward, like Joakim Noah might be the guy. The defensive tendencies are elite. Everything is elite with Joakim Noah. He's really, really good. He can move. He can play defense. Obviously, that's like his whole thing. He can facilitate, and he's got a good jump shot. Go pick up Joakim Noah. If you're building an extreme budget squad, he's almost necessary to have at the power forward. He's great. He's my starting power forward. Granted, I have kind of like a trash squad, but like still. Harden. I mean, it's Harden. It's a dark matter Harden. Like, it's really nothing to say. We've seen Harden enough. Is he worth like under 100K? I think he's going for around like 80 last I checked. He might be a little cheaper now or a little more expensive. I'm not really sure. If that's what you're looking for, but I mean, he's not a game-breaking card. Once again, if Harden had come out a while ago, he maybe was, and he was at the time too, but Jonathan Isaac, he is way too expensive for what he actually is. I mean, he's a 3 and D small forward, a good one, arguably the best one from a pure 3 and D aspect, but I don't know if that's worth picking up for 150K. Now that being said, I would rather pick up Jonathan Isaac than like Bill Russell if you're looking for like a pure lockdown defensive small forward, but realistically, he's a little bit bigger, but he's not going to bring you a whole lot more than like Andre Karolinko would bring you. So for that, I would say you'd be better off paying 35K for Andre Karolinko than spending all that on Jonathan Isaac. That's just my own opinion, though. Pau Gasol. He's good. I mean, it's Pau. You know what I mean? The Gasol brothers both have been solid this year. He's a really good power forward. Once again, though, I feel like for his price, he's going for around 40K, which isn't bad by any means. But you got Joakim Noah there for 5,000 MT. Just save 30K and pick up Joakim. Pau is way bigger, though. Like, he's definitely got a bigger player build for sure. And I do love his jump shot. Like, it's a little bit slower, but it has one of the biggest green windows in the game, if not outright the biggest. Pau's Pau, man. Domantas Sabonis, I will be completely honest, I have not played a single game with this card. Like, I haven't. I have no idea. Like, from the outside looking in, he looks fine, if not unspectacular. But I can't sit here and tell you if you should pick him up or not, because I straight up have not used the card. He looks decent enough, like he's got good dribble sigs, decent defensive tendencies. They're starting to make sure all the dark matters have good defensive tendencies, which is, I guess, good, but we kind of need the opals to have that same treatment as well. He looks decent enough, but I would need to use him before I recommend picking him up or not. At this stage, I mean, for the same price, I would just go Pau Gasol, but the Sabonis release isn't horrible. Like, I had used his current series card and his season 2 select card for limited once, and it wasn't awful, if not just a little bit slow, so I have to assume that's probably the same. And then Joe Johnson. I mean, it's Joe Johnson. When his opal came out, he wasn't hyped, so of course this card's not going to be hyped. I wish they would give a little bit more fanfare to Joe Johnson. Like, he's just one of those cards that needs to be released at a specific time to have an impact. Like, last year, he was released, I would say, around the correct time. Like, when we first got Joe Johnson in 2K22, like, he was released around the same time. Like, perfect timing. Like, when did we get him? We got him January 14th last year, the Signature Series one. I remember him being like super expensive. He had a good jump shot. He had that base 38, which was really solid. He just had the worst stamina that we had ever seen up until that point. That was kind of the one issue with him, but other than that, he was fine. This year, I feel like it's been too little too late. But also, I mean, Pink Diamond, Joe Johnson came out, what, season 1? But these Pink Diamonds for the Shades of were so expensive that these weren't even worth keeping. So I guess it's like whatever. Now let's talk about the heavy hitters, man, the Invincible cards. Invincible Giannis. He's actually, I'm not going to say he's affordable because I've literally seen people be like, yo, Invincible Giannis isn't even that much MT. He's still a million MT. It's a lot. But he is a little bit less expensive than I had thought he was going to be. But I feel like a lot of that has to do with the fact that Chet Holmgren and Bol Bol exist. Jonathan Isaac came out with the same set. That probably has a little bit more to do with it. And his dribble sigs kind of still suck, like comparatively to what we expected. So I feel like that's kind of the issue. But Giannis is still cracked. Not much to really go into there. And then we got Magic. Magic is probably Is he the best point guard in the game? Ben Simmons is probably the best point guard in the game for being truly overpowered, but Magic's right there. I feel like most people probably don't hype Magic because of his jump shot. I personally like it. Even his upper, yes, I used his jumper with Danny Manning and liked it quite a bit, so I don't know. I feel like SIGs are what are holding these Invincible cards back, and that is strictly to sell us endgame or whatever they end up calling them this year versions later on. That's the sole reason. Now let's look at Season 7, right? Looking at the cards, who should you go for? Who's worthwhile? Like anyone specifically? We'll also talk about the token market here in a second. All these cards are fine. I don't think they're spectacular, but they're fine. Like, I'm excited to get an Elvin Hayes for no reason, stuff like that. Sarunas, I like his little dirty ass mustache. I like that. He's not particularly the greatest card in the world. Is he worth suffering through 100 clutch time games for him? No. Counterpoint, though, is because he is the reward for clutch time. Clutch time will be a much, much more casual experience this season, which I think is a good thing, especially with a bunch of new people coming into the game. Like, there's still going to be sweat lords in there for sure, but he's not that great, so I feel like people are going to kind of chill on him. Had he come out in, like, Season 4, though, oh, man, he might be pretty good. Then we got McCollum. It's Ascension. No one cares about the Ascension. No one cares about CJ McCollum, so honestly, it's like a perfect marriage. I feel bad digging on McCollum like that. He was kind of good for a little bit, though. Like, when his diamond came out, he was kind of fire. Then we got Sean Elliott. I mean, sure, Sean Elliott's fine. The offline reward, I guess that's cool. Like, he's decent enough. I think he's the offline RNG card, which is, like, fine enough, I guess, but I don't know, man. I'm never going to get these cards, so I don't really care. It's really bad when you go into the game with that mindset. It really is, but what other mindset are you supposed to have? You're going to go insane if you actually trick yourself into thinking you're going to get these cards, like, fast or efficiently. So go into it with a mindset like, I'll never see this card ever, so it doesn't matter, and you might actually pull them. I don't know. Is it superstitious? Kind of. Then we got Oladipo. Once again, I just don't care. I don't even know what he's the reward for. I honestly have no idea. What is he the reward for? Is he level 40? He might be. He might just be level 40, honestly. I just, like, haven't paid attention. We'll see. Yeah, he is, so no one cares. Okay, cool. I'll get him, though, like, just to have him. Then we got Rick Smits. Now, Rick Smits is gas, obviously. He's the second best center in the game. Not even close. I would be even willing to say that he's, like, on par with Yao, aside from, like, the speed and hot zones. But that Contavious Paul... that Caldwell Pope release, pretty good. Once again, I'm not going to get this card. This card will not be gifted to me by the RNG god, so I don't care. Please do not go insane trying to get this card. Every place that this card exists is going to be sweaty to a level you don't want to deal with it. Just know that. Allen Houston, cool. I don't really care that much. I think he is the full triple threat one. I'm not going to play all these games of triple threat for Allen Houston. That's a lot, so I just, like, don't care. That's fine. I'm mad about it, though, because, like, I actually do like Allen Houston. So and we got Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond is something. Honestly, don't care. Again, it's Mitch Richmond. Like, it's fine. I am curious where he comes from, though. Like, I actually don't know. Is he Ascension? I feel like he is. Oh, he's co-op. Yeah, cool, whatever. Fine, so be it. Zion, cool. People already have him. Then we got Havlicek. Havlicek is clutch time offline. He can't play point guard for some reason, which is why he's offline. I might play clutch time offline for Havlicek, just for like old time's sake. They gave him the Kevin Knox release, which is an interesting choice, but it's actually a good release. Like, go use Gus Garrard. Like, it's actually pretty decent. And I don't know if it's worth 100 clutch time offline games in that sweaty hellscape of a CPU matchup, but still. Art Gilmore. Art Gilmore. Oh boy. He is massive, by the way. Like, his fro makes him look about 3 to 4 inches taller. Like, he is so big in this game. The releases, Jared Vanderbilt, like, it's not half bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Taj Gibson upper is an interesting choice, but not terrible. He can move. He doesn't have good defensive tendencies. Like, he's not as good as Rick Smits. I've seen people say that. That's a lie. That's not true. But he's pretty solid overall, and he's worth, if you're going to play Unlimited anyway, slugging it out for 6K points in Unlimited. I haven't played a single Unlimited game. It's unlikely that I will. All right, let's talk about the token market. They put all the Season 5 cards on here. By the way, they put limited time Dark Matters on Friday. And when I say limited time, I actually mean limited quantity. I believe it was Grant Hill, James Worthy, and there was someone else. I'm going to look because I tweeted about it. I'm not sure who it was. It was Derrick Rose, James Worthy, and Grant Hill. They were 250 tokens, which is good, but they were limited time. I hate that. I hate it so much. None of these cards are elite. In fact, all of these cards, by technical terms, are outdated with the current meta. So why are they limited? I don't understand. Why are they limited? I just forgot that I don't have my webcam, so you can't see me punching my chair, but just know that I am. You can probably hear it, though. Why are they limited? What's the point? Why can't you just let people have these? Make them 500 tokens if you want to, like, keep people in check. But, like, why? Why? 250 tokens. None of these guys really would make majority of people, and when I say people, I mean, like, Sweat Lords lineup. So why can't you just let people have things, 2K? Why? Just, like, I don't understand, man. I promise, Grant Hill, James Worthy, Derrick Rose, none of these guys are moving the needle enough that people aren't going to open packs. Derrick Rose is a 6'3" point guard. No one's running him against Ben Simmons. James Worthy's pretty good. Yeah, objectively, he's pretty decent, but, like, he's about as good as, like, Paul Millsap, who's 5,000 MT. Like, he might be slightly better, but, like, they're at the same tier. And nobody's running Grant Hill. Like, so why did you do this? And it looks like they are auctionable, though. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Somebody let me know if you actually got those cards, because I want to know if they're actually auctionable. Because there's not a whole lot of Derrick Roses up, so it makes me think that they probably weren't auctionable, but I don't know. Not a whole lot of James Worthy's up, and I'm pretty sure there was one Grant Hill when I looked earlier. Yeah, so I would guess that they're not auctionable. Regardless, just make them non-auctionable and just let people have things. Like, it's super not cool. I hate it. And they're going to do this probably every single Friday, but the problem is they do it right when packs release. So if you have, I don't know, a job or, like, responsibilities and you can't be on the game right at 10 o'clock, you're just going to be fucked. So that's cool. Season 5 cards are on here too, which I like when they do stuff like this. I know people say it's rehashing content, but I like that they give people the ability to get cards they missed out on. Like, I didn't get Monte Ellis, so now I can get him. 250 is not bad, whatever. Alex English, didn't grind for him. You can get him. I wish it was one season behind, not two, so, like, anybody who didn't get Sean Livingston could just get him for, like, 250 tokens. That would be cool. Matherin makes me never want to play Limited again. I can say that with utmost certainty. Jamal Crawford, I grabbed Chris Kaman because it's Chris Kaman, so why not? Here's where I get irritated, though. Like, why are the RNG cards 1,000 tokens? Why are they 1,000 tokens? Why can't they be, like, well, why can't they be 250 tokens, but, like, 500 tokens or something if you want to make it double? That's not great, but it's better than this. Like, 1,000 tokens? Man, I thought about grabbing Mike Bantam, but it's like I probably won't use him since I don't even use Billy Knight anymore. Danny Ferry, I'm not going to spend 1,000 tokens. I have 1,600 tokens. I'm not going to spend all my tokens on Purvis Ellison, Danny Ferry, Billy Knight, or Mike Bantam. I want these cards actively too, but I can only get one of them. Like, for now. And then maybe at the end of the season I get another one. So it's just irritating. Like, just lower the amount. If they're not going to be 250, make them 500. Just 1,000 is punishing. Unnecessarily punishing, honestly. And can we do these again? They made like a big deal about these. Like they were going to add older cards in. Like, why is that not a thing? You're not selling any cards from Season 4 anymore. I'm not saying you got to put Eclipse Yao in there, but like, come on, man. Just throw old cards up there for cheap. Like, I would be gassed if I could get like, I wouldn't be gassed, but like as a new player, I'm trying to put myself in the new player mindset. Like, I would be gassed if I could go get a 97 Chet Holmgren from the token market for like 250 tokens. Like, I myself probably wouldn't do that, but like a newer player probably would grind 250 tokens to get Chet Holmgren, you know? A newer player probably would grind 250 tokens to get Tatum. Throw the all-star guys in there. Who gives a shit? All these people are going to be hyped. You're telling me they can go get Tatum? Yeah. By the way, throw Giannis and Bron in there because they're outdated now. Or so people say. But like, just throw these guys in there, man. Throw the best names in the NBA in there and just let people go grab these cards for like 250 tokens. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You can even leave Bron and Giannis out because you probably will. It's just irritating. Just do the... So stupid. I hate this game. Anyways, as always, it's been your friend Sheep Ludes. I appreciate you guys watching my, content. I talked about it a little bit, but I'm going through a bit of a life shift right now. So that's why I haven't had webcam. It's a whole thing I'd rather not discuss, but, it is what it is. And I will be back with more content tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening and stay safe, man.